if Tuchel doesn't make top 4, would he be considered unsuccessful?
No, I think it's unfair to ask Tuchel to make top 4. I mean, he's taking over this team in the middle of the season, and he took over the team. What they were? What 8, 9, 10, 12, 19? I don't know what they were. The bottom line, the objective for Tuchel is to improve the position at which he take over the team, and essentially improve the style of play and start farming or phasing out some players. So in an ideal world, yes, top 4 would be just an icing on the cake, but I don't consider Tuchel a failure if they don't make top 4. I think if they wanted to measure him by that metric, he should have gotten the job in the summer.
So Richard, so the argument too was that, well, Frank Lampard, why would they fire Frank Lampard for Tuchel to just not make top 4? Lampard could potentially argue that he probably would have mounted a comeback at some point and probably would have made top 4 too.
I think I agree with Benton. I think it's very unfair that if you want to fire Tuchel if he doesn't make top 4. However, with Lampard, I do think that the team looked like they weren't going anywhere as far as improving their style of play. And it just so happened that Tuchel opened up. He was fired by Paris, and it so happened he was available. He's German, of course. They wanted Werner to play better, Werner and Havertz to play better. He was more experienced, and everything came together at the time, and they saw where they could have gotten him. And again, Lampard probably would have gotten some more time if Tuchel wasn't available. But they decided to go ahead and pull the plug on Lampard. And in my opinion, it was a good decision. I would have liked Lampard to have gotten a little more time to see if he could have turned things around. But I think Tuchel is showing that, with his experience, he's definitely improved the team.
What do you think about Tuchel's tactics, like what he's done so far, compared to what Frank was doing?
Well, the biggest difference is that Tuchel is explaining exactly what he wants from the players. Frank kind of knew what he wanted, but he didn't know how to get it across. I mean, you could see the hesitancy when the players played. Whereas Tuchel, you could see exactly what he's trying to do. From what I see, he likes playing 3 at the back. He have more or less 5 in midfield. Of course, when they defend, it becomes 5 defenders. So kind of like a 5-3-2 in attack and a 5-3-2 in defense and a 3-5-2 in attack. So guys like Marcus Alonso, who I think I've always thought Alonso was a very good player. So you see him playing kind of like a left wing, kind of like a
wing back.
Yeah, it's left wing, but kind of like a left wing back / left wing, And even though I like Chilwell a lot, Alonso is more suited for the attacking role, whereas he could keep the 3 in the back more at home. Thiago Silva, and then the 2 guys on the outside of him is Azpilicueta and Rudiger, right? So I think he's trying to he's playing a hybrid 5-3-2, 3-5-2. But the biggest thing is that the guys understand what they're doing.
Yeah, Benton, what are your thoughts? What have you seen? I know the very first game Tuchel came in, I think was the Wolves game, and we didn't win, we drew. But did you think that they looked more organized, the team?
Yeah, well, he's definitely pushing those wing backs further up the field. He's definitely, telling those guys to go support the attack. One thing that I think overall is that he's allowing other players who I didn't even remember was still at Chelsea. I thought Marcus Alonso was gone. I totally forgot he was there. So he's giving players who are the forgotten men of the team a chance to show themselves. And to that end, there's no position that is guaranteed. Ben Chilwell seems like an automatic starter, good or bad for whatever reason it was. Mason Mount seems like an automatic starter on the Lampard. Now he has to compete for his place.
Mhm.
And he's pushing those wing backs up the field, giving more support in attack. He's still got to figure out the striker position because ultimately I think Tammy Abraham or Verna, well, I don't think Tammy Abraham seems to be the solution, and I'm not sure Verna is a solution either. But he's given more chance going forward in terms of attacking. They're still going to run the risk with that slow back line, Thiago Silva, and I mean he's brought in Rudiger that gives some more speed. Jorginho in that space definitely accentuate what he's trying to do. Jorginho wants to keep that ball moving, ball position, turn, keep the play going. That's the biggest difference that I've seen. Putting those wing backs, pushing them into midfield to help support the play. Jorginho, kind of the technician, or to try to drive forward the offense. He's not Angola Conte. He doesn't do well with defense, but he will do very good in passing. And
Mhm.
we will see. I mean, teams are gonna evaluate, are gonna adjust to this flavor of play, and that's gonna be the true measure of Tuchel in the EPL when teams adjust to his style of play.
I think the thing is, people were saying that Tuchel as a manager, I guess I never really watch PSG at that time, but they're saying that one of the good things about him is that he's flexible. So I think the very last game we had with Barnsley, he kind of brought out what is considered now as our second team. And it was obvious in the first half that those guys were just not able to play that 3-4-3. They just could not, like Barnsley looked like they were going to score. And so we went out at halftime and the guys came back in with, I think it was like a 4-2-3 something. And they came with a different formation and we looked much better. So I guess I'm wondering if maybe he has something up his sleeve for when people start to figure out the 3-4-3. Hopefully.
So, um, if this is a Tuchel from Borussia Dortmund days, I expect him to adjust.
Right.
If this is a Tuchel from PSG days, he got I think he got a little bit lost in his career trajectory at PSG. There was off the field issues where it was getting a bit political, and that's not in his demeanor to deal with the politics of the club.
Right.
What I saw with him at Dortmund, he was an adjusting coach. You know, he brought you Ousmane Dembele and Christian Pulisic of the world. So I expect him to modify and bring more young players. And, you know, Gilmore will get more playing time if he's going to play well when given the opportunity. That's what I saw with him at Dortmund. So I don't know what Richard thinks about it, but I think he will adjust if it's the Dortmund Tuchel that shows up.
I haven't watched Tuchel that much before, so but I do know that that he's a coach that tends to adjust quite a bit, and you know, like Benton was saying, PSG very political, especially dealing with Neymar. And I think Mauricio Pochettino is starting to find out a little bit about dealing with Neymar and those guys so far. But yeah, I fully expect him to adjust. I've seen so far, he is willing to give chances to a lot of different players to prove themselves. He doesn't seem like a guy who would come in and just you know, see certain players and just discard them. So far from what I've seen, he's given most of the guys the opportunity.
And he's rewarding on merit because, I mean, Hudson-Odoi has probably been the greatest a person who has been rewarded based on Tuchel's platform or Tuchel's coaching method, right? Because he's loving Tuchel. He's playing almost more now than ever. And to be fair to him, he's been quite good when he's played.
Right.
So he's rewarded for playing well. And you know, there was times in the Frank Lampard era when he played well, and you would think that he would have gotten more time, but he didn't get the other time.
Yeah, he's the biggest success story so far. I don't know if that'll continue since Tuchel came in, and Tuchel actually changed his position to right wing back instead of right wing, I guess. And he's been excelling with it. So, and I think he came out, and a number of the players, without criticizing Frank, kind of came out and said, well, the difference now is that they understand exactly what Tuchel wants to do. and they kind of just know. Yeah, well, apparently that was one of the complaints under Frank in the last part.
Oh gosh.
It's time.
They throw him under the bus. They throw him
Yeah.
under the bus.
Well, okay. So to be fair, one of the players who definitely said that was Marcus Alonso. And, you know, Marcus Alonso had beef with Frank. So he kind of came out and was like, yeah, you know, now we're not confused anymore. Like, you know, so, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. People are worried about, on a side note, people are worried about Ben Chilwell a little bit because Alonso plays the right wing back the left wing back really well, but he can't play left back. And Chilwell can play the left back, but it doesn't look like Chilwell is as strong at left wing back, like with the attack. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. I guess we're yet to see what's going to happen. We're 5th in the league right now. Liverpool just lost today. And so we'll see.